When I was at Tristan Tate's house last month, I knew his favorite whiskey was Johnny Walker Blue Label.
Polaroid picture gonna snap me in your frames. Ever since I came in, knew I would wreck the game.
All right, guys, so we got Luke back again for a part 2. Luke, I appreciate you showing up to the pod once again. I want to have a few questions with you. Just like a good conversation, bro.
It's good to see you, G. It's good to see you. We had dinner?
We had a nice dinner, good vibes, good company.
Phenomenal connecting with people and all my boys and stuff like that coming together. I think it was great.
Definitely, I definitely agree. I appreciate you pulling us all together.
You got me some Tom Ford, bro. That's some G bro. I appreciate it.
Of course. I mean, I know you travel a lot, so you're going to the fight and then you're doing another Capital Club event?
Yeah, I'm doing a Capital Club event in Phuket, Singapore, and then I'm headed to Singapore. Do you mind if I say something about what you did though, so the audience knows before we get started?
Most definitely.
So something that you did, which is really, really interesting that I think right off the bat people are going to find really valuable, and you may have not even noticed, is you're like, I realized that you traveled a lot, therefore I provided a value point. Hey, it's a cologne, Tom Ford, beautiful, phenomenal, smells great, but you identified a need, or you identified something that I was doing, you studied me, and then you established rapport by gifting me something, which a lot of Americans I've realized don't do. They don't gift like friends and company and things like that, and that just commends your level of entrepreneurship and level of awareness. So well done. I think if people do that, bro, it just allows them to build a better network.
No, much love. I appreciate that. And I definitely agree with that. I think one thing about also building connections isn't just the business side, but it's always, a personal side and just good hospitality. And is that something that you did whenever, you're trying to start building connections? And if so, do you have any examples?
Yeah. So when I was at Tristan Tate's house last month, I knew his favorite whiskey was Johnny Walker Blue Label, because I'd studied him and I was like, okay, I know what this guy likes and I'm going to gift him something in accordance to what he likes. Because, so many times people go out and gift things that they like, not necessarily that other people like. And I realized that if you want to build relationships in your network, you need to be able to study people just like you study a market, just like you study a product, just like you study a niche. If you can study individuals, you can find ways that you can tap into their potential, tap into their network, get to know them by studying them, providing value, knowing who they congregate with, what they like, what they enjoy, and see the weaknesses that they have and be able to provide value to those weaknesses. And the big misconception that a lot of people have, Cam, is this idea that rich people don't need things, right? Rich people, they need stuff. Right? Rich people, there's everybody always has a need. So if you're able to identify those needs for people that you deem valuable, that you want to get to know, study them, just like you did, right? And my building and my networks and my relationships, I attribute it to pay attention to people and figuring out how can I be of service. And if you're of service to people, you don't have to worry about the rest.
I definitely agree with that. And do you think that also kind of translate over, into a business aspect, whether you're selling a product, e-commerce, does that kind of translate into the business side as well?
I mean, yeah, if somebody's giving you their hard-earned dollars, they're giving you their time, they're giving you their attention, you need to be good to people. In business, people think that customers are just a number, but they're not. They're human beings. And if you treat your products, you treat your company, you treat your organization, your employees, your relationships like human beings, and you understand that on the other side of the screen there's a person with feelings, emotions, needs, wants, you're going to interact with them with a lot more grace and kindness and more intentionality, instead of seeing them as a data point or a dollar sign. And I think that it translates to every aspect of life and everything that you do. So for example, business is just an extension of how you live your life. So, how you do business is most likely how you do every other area of your life. And it's just a reflection of who you are. So how I try to conduct business is just in a way that's authentic and an extension of who I am as a man, and the principles and characters that I try to strive to manifest on my daily life.
No, most definitely. And I completely agree. And I want to kind of also touch back, like maybe more so like, early on in your life as well, probably people don't know too much. I know you don't really talk too much about your story. Maybe there's like a few videos you just recently started telling more, but did you have that same mindset? Like, I know you used to work in like restaurants, right? You're working for tips. Is that like, did you choose that job for a reason?
Yeah, bro. So the first thing is I needed to find somewhere where even as an employee that I could get paid for my performance. You don't want to get paid to show up. You want to get paid to perform. And the reason I put myself in the beginning in working in bars or in high intensity environments was like, okay, if I can't go get a sales job, let me do the closest thing to it without a resume, without accolades, without education, like formal education, which at the moment I thought that I needed, but you don't actually need it. Thankfully nowadays people can get a ton of sales jobs online and things of this nature where you don't have to wait tables. But every time I would encounter, somebody at the restaurant, my hope was to create somebody that every time they came in, they would be like, yo, where's Luke? Right? You want to be able to leave an impression. And it doesn't matter if you're a waiter. It doesn't matter if you're a cashier. It doesn't matter if you work at a car wash. Like, dude, you could literally be so intelligent that you position yourself in the best car wash where all the rich people come and they know you by name. You're like, hey, this is my personal card. If you ever need me, I know it's a trouble for you to come and bring your car over here. If you ever need anything, hey, slip on my card. You know what? Hey, if you need a one-on-one, I can come take care of your cars. I'll come over to your place. I know you're a busy man. I know you're a busy woman. Let me take care of your stuff. And you start building relationships with people because you start realizing that people have needs. And it doesn't matter where you're starting. Any place, if you do it with enough excellence and with enough intentionality, you can turn into a money-making machine and into a pool of opportunity, brother.
No, and I like that you also mentioned, positioning yourself in that. So is that stuff that you did like throughout your journey, like you're like position yourself where the money's at, right? Can you kind of like touch more about that?
Yeah. So people think that it's about hard work, but if it was about hard work, then the Mexicans that are repairing roofs would be the best paid people. The people working in the dish pit in the back of the restaurant, those people would be the best paid people. But why is it that they're not? Because it's not about hard work. Hard work is simply a part of the equation. You have hard work, you have consistency, but you also have to have intentionality and positioning. What is positioning? Positioning is being able to perceive a potential opportunity and put yourself in a scenario where you're going to be able to capitalize at the best time to the fullest extent. For example, in 2020, I realized that there was a cultural shift taking place and that people were starting to get reanimated or re-intrigued with crypto. So I positioned myself in a place understanding that it was going to work really well in that social media, even though I didn't predict how heavy it was going to be. I knew it was going to play a factor. I didn't think it was going to be like crazy with Doge and all the coins, but I positioned myself and then it paid off. I didn't have to work crazy amounts. I didn't have to go super nuts, balls to the walls, trying to figure out how do I have to bust my butt trying to make money. No, I just positioned myself, and I positioned myself because like you did with me, I paid attention. I was aware of what was happening, and I put myself in the scenarios and the situations where I would have an edge. Because in life, you don't need to be a million steps ahead. All you need is to be a little bit ahead. Usain Bolt versus the other guys, perfect. He would win by 3, 4, 5 meters. But if the other person maybe had an edge, maybe had wind to his advantage, maybe Usain Bolt slipped because his shoes weren't working properly. Those little edges are what's going to allow you to outbeat and outpace your competitor in any realm of human endeavor.
And do you think that, in order to achieve, that level of like, if you want to call it success, you have to increase every attribute of yourself. So that might as well obviously include health.
Yeah, I mean, health is the foundation of everything that you do. So for example, you could lack anything in your life, but if you still have your health, you're chilling, right? Like you could be homeless, but if you had your health, you could still make it. But for example, let's say you have family and you love your family. Perfect. But you could still live without your family, but you can't live without your health. Health is the foundation. It's the pillar to anything that you build. Mental health, physical health, spiritual health. These are the pillars on which you build everything in your life. So people neglect the most foundational things because they don't understand that the things that they put value on are the wrong things. People put value on things that they can replace. They can replace the car, they can replace the house, but they neglect and they take for granted the things that they cannot replace. You will not get a new body, you will not get a new brain, you won't get new lungs. I see so many people hitting these vapes 24/7. You're not gonna get new kidneys. So this understanding that you need to take advantage of being healthy because it is a key pillar to your growth and your success. Nothing matters if you're dead. Nothing matters if, like Steve Jobs, in your 50s, you're diagnosed with cancer. It doesn't matter that you built a $1 trillion company. You don't get to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And I guarantee you, I'm not 100% certain, but I would bet that he would give it all up in order to be alive again, or in order to live longer. I certainly would, because that's what, at the end of the day, what truly matters. And I think if people can establish it as a habit to be healthy, to be whole, right? I think they're going to live a better life. And I think that that's what entrepreneurship is about. It's not about business. It's about living a life of fullness and a life of freedom across the board.
And I think purpose as well, you know, like being able to like walk with purpose and like have that, I think is really important towards just, you know, really getting far in life.
I agree with you, Cam, because why do you wake up in the morning? At one point, waking up in the morning just to make money ain't enough. Like when you got enough money, you know what I mean? Like when you got enough money where your rent's paid for, you can go out to Whole Foods, spend a couple $100 at the restaurant, and like you're chilling. Exactly. Then what's your next motivation? That's the plateau way I see most entrepreneurs right now, which is why we reactivated Capital Club to become the largest network in the world. Like people plateauing, and I look at people, I'm like, bro. Like you just went from 1 to 2 and you plateaued at 2 because you thought that money was the trick. No, bro, you're just getting started. Right. Because the position that you're in right now is the position of comfort. What is comfort? That you've made enough money to sustain yourself. But that's the beauty. The beauty is that you need to be able to just make enough to be able to focus on yourself full time. Cam, imagine that your job was fully developing yourself 24/7. Imagine you didn't work. Imagine all you did was develop yourself 18 hours a day. How far ahead would you be of all your competitors? How accelerated would you be compared to everybody else in the marketplace? So far beyond any person that I've ever met. Right. And if you have the opportunity to do that, you need to capitalize it. But I see entrepreneurs make money and then plateau and be like, well, I have no purpose. The purpose now is develop yourself. Like the purpose is take it to the next level. Now that you've made it, right. It's time to grind, but you need to work on yourself. And when you work on yourself, more opportunities, more people, better opportunities are going to be attracted towards you because you are attracting these things based off of who you're becoming.
No, I definitely agree with that, and I really live by that as well. Like, and it's really just so important. And I feel like just with being, you know, getting to that level of comfort, you know, being able to pay like everything, is that something that you've ever dealt with where you lost motivation? You know, any time in your life where, or not even motivation, you just hit that level of comfort where you just kind of like, you know, see what a lot of people do, or do you just constantly?
Bro, it's every day, bro. Like every day you have to battle the demon of complacency. The problem that I see a lot of people facing is that they think that it's okay. And the thing is, it's okay if you want a mediocre life. It's okay if you want to live an average life. But if you want to experience the fullest potential that you have to offer, if you want to unlock the hero within, per se, you need to be able to put in the hours. Without training, there's nothing. You need to train. You need to live a life of discipline if you want to achieve anything meaningful in life. Nothing was achieved overnight. Right. Nobody gained weight overnight. Nobody lost weight overnight. Nobody got abs overnight. Nobody got fat overnight. Everything is compounding on a consistent basis. The question is, what are you compounding? Are you compounding things that are going to push your life to a new paradigm? Or are you compounding things that are holding you back and keeping you in a trap, in a hole? Most people are self-sabotaging, Cam. And they come to me and they're like, Luke, how do I fix it? I was like, you know what to do. Like, you know the basic stuff. Quit eating KFC at 2 a.m, watching Netflix, jerking off, watching. You should be running your business right now, hitting the weights, eating healthy, spring water, networking with your fellow entrepreneurs, cutting out the women that are draining your energy, cutting out the friends that are asking you to come out and party every day. Once you get the basics figured out and you commit to the basics and you stop sabotaging yourself, then we can talk. Imagine coming to me doing all this and thinking that I'm going to trust you to be in my circle, that I'm going to give you the time of day.
It's almost like a bad
if you can't take care of yourself, why the f would I even give the time of day to take care of you?
Exactly.
It's impossible. So that's where it starts. You need to self-care, you need to develop yourself, and then you're going to attract people like we did today. We were at Komodo for dinner, and the server, he's like, comes out to us and he's like, bro, I've never seen nobody come and just have such a big table, go crazy, and not drink alcohol. What are you guys doing? We're biohacking. Like, we're together keeping each other accountable to eat lean carbs, lean on carbs and heavy on protein. And we were ordering all the steaks, all the Wagyu, and we were going crazy. And we were able to set an example to the server that, hey, you can still have fun. You can still go out with your boys, but you can be uplifting. You can encourage yourself. Exactly. You can encourage each other. For example, Nate, he's biohacking. He's going crazy. We can't set temptations on the table that are going to make him fall. Exactly. Right? So we're keeping each other accountable. Yeah. We're networking together. And I think that entrepreneurs need that. So you can impact people just by your lifestyle. And I think if people stop talking and start doing, they're going to see the results, bro.
Most definitely. I think the biggest thing too is admitting wrongs and holding yourself accountable, and also being surrounded by those good people. Like just obviously everyone at dinner, yourself, right, Nate, everyone is just such a good influence on me as well. I learned a ton from you guys, and I feel like a lot of people just can't experience like such good moments like that because they might not want to be truthful with
because they haven't earned it, bro. Life gives you what you deserve. Now, in the beginning, you may get the chips, right? You may get the cards that are absolute trash, but you decide if those cards are going to identify and are going to form your identity in the present and in the future. Imagine tripping over a rock that's behind you. Right. It makes no sense. So why are you picking up the bullshit from the past and allowing it to trip your future and your present? It doesn't matter what cards you were dealt. The question is, what are you going to do now? So many people's identities is found in their trauma. So many people place their identity on their past, what somebody else did to, but what are you going to do about it? How are you going to change the narrative? How are you going to evolve? How are you going to use it to empower you to reach the next level? Dude, what was the difference between the Joker and Batman? They both had childhood trauma. It's what was forged from that trauma. Exactly. One became a hero, one became a villain. So you're writing your story. Nobody's writing it for you. Yeah, things happen, bullshit happens, but you have the power within yourself to determine if you want to be the hero of your story, if you want to be the villain. And most people are self-sabotaging, but if they can understand that the principle is your past doesn't determine who you are right now, that if you focus on becoming successful in every area of life, health, wealth, love, and happiness, this quadrant for a successful life, you can actually live a life of impact. You can impact others, you can impact yourself, not with your words, but with your actions. And you end up leaving the world in a better way than you found it. And that to me is a life worth living.
I definitely agree on that 100% because we're here for obviously a bigger purpose. And one thing too is a lot of people live their life, at least in my opinion, they live their life reactive. They're not being proactive. And do you think that's just like one of the biggest problems that people have, where they truly don't get over that barrier of being able to fully focus on themselves every single day, just like you said, always developing yourself, but you kind of have to get over that bridge?
I agree. So I talk about the 3 keys to becoming successful. The first one is these are 3 skills that you need to be able to master in order to be successful. The first one is you have to be able to sell, right? Anything that you're doing is always selling. You're selling your girl on staying with you. You're selling your boss on keeping you in the job. You're selling your parents on why you should drop out of college and pursue your e-commerce, social media marketing, TikTok agency, right? Like you are consistently selling at all times of the day. The second skill that you need to be able to master is your ability to be resilient, your ability to bounce back, your ability to overcome trial and continue fighting. If you don't have thick skin and you can't continue to bounce back and continue to put in the effort to not quit and not be defeated by the pressures that everybody faces, by the way, not just you, not just me, everybody faces, and that when you're an entrepreneur, you sign up for that, right? Like you're signing up for the trauma, you're signing up for the trouble, because that's what it costs to become free. There is a cost to your freedom. You have to pay for it. And that means you got to sacrifice. People think this is all sunshine, roses, Lambos, and penthouses. Get welcome to the grind. This ain't like that. And then the third skill that you need to be able to master is, like you said, is not to be reactive, but to be proactive. Reactive is a person that doesn't think that they are in control of the circumstances in their life. They are dominated by the circumstances of lesser men or by other men. The people that are proactive understand that they can control the circumstances that they put themselves in and that they can control and dictate their future. These people are proactive. They are consistently, actively focused on when a situation comes, they know how to handle it. They know how to react. And that comes through what? Education, experience, and wisdom. What is wisdom? Wisdom is knowledge put into practice. So many people have this fairy tale information in their head. They read the books. They read Think and Grow Rich. They read your Rich Dad, Poor Dad. They read your How to Win Friends and Influence People. And they read the 101s of personal development, yet they're the same people and they forget the 101s. So how are you supposed to develop into becoming somebody that's proactive if you don't have a foundation of education to equip you in order to be that way? It doesn't work that way. If you want to be proactive, you need to train. You need to trust yourself. You need to become an individual that can see a situation and answer in a similar to a reactive way, but in a controlled manner that understands the outcome. It's developing an intuition that is that can't be cheated or sold. It needs to be earned, and it's earned with hard work. It's earned with consistency, and it's earned with a lot of time in the game. You can't get it by being in the game for 2 years. You got to earn your stripes.
Most definitely. And when kind of did you, really start having this, not even mindset, but really lifestyle? How, when did you start really developing this? Or is this something that you've almost always had?
It's 10 years, bro.
Right.
10 years. This is a way of being. You need to figure out what are your values. You need to figure out what you believe in. And then you need to set your life goal to honor those principles like a samurai, dude. Yeah. The samurai had their code. They had their way of being. They had their life. And their entire life was based off of training and learning how to master these principles. I know the things that I want to master. So for example, I want to be a master of my body. I want to develop what we call biohacking, which is the ability to hack your biology in a way that is natural without having to depend on big pharma, without having to depend on Adderall. I don't want to do all that. I want to biohack because we have that potential. So I'm looking at that vertical. I'm looking at the vertical of understanding what is money and how financial instruments work in the world nowadays to position myself, to prepare myself for the future. So I think people need to figure out where they want to win in life. And you can't do a million things. Give me 3 goals. Give me a goal for your mind. Give me a goal for your body, and give me a goal for your finance. Give me those 3 things. Just work towards those 3 things every single day. And now you're a man of purpose. Now you're a woman of purpose, and you can take things to the next level.
That's definitely a lot for someone to grasp, take in, and really make that change, right? So what would kind of be the first step of maybe having the most optimal day? Is there a certain way that you kind of schedule out your day-to-days to be most?
Well, the first thing is you got to commit. You got to commit to the way. What do I mean by the way? It's the way of life. It's a way of consistently focusing on the pursuit of your fullest potential. If you don't commit, it doesn't matter if you have a schedule. If you don't commit, it doesn't matter if you have a secretary, because nobody's gonna force you to do what you gotta do. Why is it that I can literally answer 1,200 text messages in a day? I will literally show this to you. Let me get the phone. I'm gonna show this to you. Let me see where the phone is. Where's my phone, ladies and gentlemen? I'm gonna show you, Cam, how many text messages I get from running my businesses, and I'm going to pull the screenshot just for you here. Let me see where it's the screen time. I want you to tell the audience how many text messages I've received in the last 24 hours.
1,488
1,488. How is it that I can run a business, get 1,400 messages in a day, respond to them, manage my fitness, manage my relationships, take care of my health, manage my team, spend time reading, read a book a week? How is it that I can do all of these things? I'm committed. I'm committed to my goals. I can't cheat myself, bro. I'm done with the bullshit. I'm done with the self-sabotage. Dude, I'm here to win, not win against the world. I'm trying to beat myself. I beat myself every day. Conquer, conquer, conquer. Because if you can conquer yourself, you can conquer anyone. Because you're the most difficult enemy you will ever face. If you can conquer self, dude, you can build a multi-billion empire from the ground up. If you can literally commit to developing yourself full time, dude, you can build an empire. What is holding you back? Nothing.
Exactly.
Yourself, myself. So we got to commit and stop like all this. What tactics? Commit, dude. Commit. Get it done. Get it done. If I can do the 1,400 texts with tens of millions of dollars in the bank account, what is holding you back, mother? Broke. Like all you have to do is show up and commit. And then you refine the strategy. But don't focus on strategy until you're putting in the hours. There's no replacement for hours, bro.
Exactly. You just have to be.
You can't cheat it, G.
Can't cheat. You have to be committed. You know, a lot of people, you know, whether it's even business, health, they're saying, oh, what's the easy way, you know, to do this? Or what's the easy way to get.
What's the quickest way to get abs?
And what do you think about people that say that and like that type of mindset?
That how you do little things is how you do everything. They want fast results. Easy come, easy go. Easy come, easy go. Instant gratification, fast gratification. That's what they want. And that's what you'll get. Microwave results. I'm slow cooking. Dude, where are you going in a rush? To the grave? Like that's the end goal. You end up at the grave. Me, every single day I show up. Slow cooking, slow roasting, my success. And in due time, when I deserve it, my life will manifest that I've actually earned it. I'm not here to microwave nothing, dude. I'm taking my day every single day, enjoying my process of developing myself. And ultimately, dude, I'm going to win.
You see, you just have to fall in love with, you know, just being a better you every single day consistently. I feel like once you can truly do that, you know, then all these things, it won't feel like a hard task or, you know, like a job. Right?
Everything is hard at first, but just because it's hard doesn't mean it's bad. I prefer doing hard things that are going to push me to the next level than doing hard things because I'm poor or doing hard things because I'm unhealthy. I want to do hard things that are going to push me to elevate to become the man that I know I can be, the entrepreneur that I know that I can be, the boss that I know that I can be. And I think that we can encourage people with that, dude. And I hope this was of super value to people.
Most definitely. I mean, you know, definitely like just you showing up here, dropping that sauce, you know, this is really life-changing things, and sometimes it can go over a lot of people's head, but you know,
and they got to rewatch it.
They got to take some notes, you know.
You got to rewatch it. Like it's like going to school and assuming that you're going to read one piece of information once and digest it. No, you got to reread it, sit down, analyze, meditate, think, strategize, reread it, figure it out, re-strategize it, write it down, make it your own, internalize it. And when you internalize it, now you have a strategy. You can't memorize this. You can't cheat your way to the top. You got to put in the hours, 365 days a year. If you committed the next 365 days of your life to the persistent pursuit of your potential and you were grinding 24/7 and you didn't cheat yourself, imagine what you would become. You would become a ruthless killer. You would become such a G that nobody would say, nah, this person ain't doing it. You'd be undeniable. 365 days. If you committed to that, you would win. The question is, are you going to?
And I think, you know, every single person watching this now, literally, you have to take the next year, get serious. Luke, I really appreciate you hopping on here, dropping the sauce, dropping the knowledge.
I appreciate you having me here, brother.
Most definitely.
I'm ready for part 3 in the next couple months.
We'll see you there, bro. I appreciate everything. Easy.